Hi everyone, and welcome to the Grassmasters channel. Today we're going to go over creating door hangers using VistaPrint. If you're a solo operator, this is the most effective method for direct marketing, if you will. You can do EDDM as well, and we'll go over that in a different video. But leaving door hangers and door knocking is the best way to really target a specific neighborhood and get as much customer acquisition within your target market that you're looking for. If you're a solo operator, being efficient is really key so that you're not driving all over town and wasting a lot of time and money on gas and travel time. So once you get established in a neighborhood, it's easier and easier to get more and more customers in that area. And this has been a really effective method. So let's take a look at the door hangers that I created, and we'll actually be making some tweaks to these as well. There's a couple of areas that aren't performing really well, so we'll make some adjustments from there. But let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so we're in VistaPrint here. If you don't have an account, you'll need to sign in, all that jazz. So I'll go ahead and do that to get us started. And it looks like it remembered my account, so that's awesome. So you can see here, I've got some different versions of door hangers that are out there. But to get started, if you don't see them right away, you can just simply type in door hanger in the VistaPrint search bar, and you'll see, as I'm making this video, it's September 28th, 2023. They've got this icon with a red flower here. So we'll go ahead and open that up. I'm gonna do a side-by-side just so you can kind of see what I've got and how I go about creating it. But what's really nice about VistaPrint is that they have tons of designs, and this isn't sponsored or anything, but they've got tons of designs, and there's a lot of lawn care ones out there. So you probably saw that one with the lawnmower in the beginning. And I think that one looks okay, but peruse around, find one that you like. The one that I use is on page 2, or it used to be on page 2 at the bottom here. So it looks like it might be on page 3 now. Let's take a look. Here it is. So this isn't the best one. Honestly, I think it's a real estate hanger, but I really liked the grass on it and the home. And actually, I've got a home that I mow that looks starkly similar to this, which is pretty insane. But as you come in, you can go ahead and click on Start Designing, and it's really a simple interface. A lot of your commands are up here on the top. You can change the color, you can crop images, delete certain segments. If you're familiar with any kind of photography or image editing software, you can usually arrange different layers and do a bunch of different stuff. It's got all of those tools here, as well as on the left-hand side, you can add your text boxes. You can import your own images like your logo, which I did. You can do additional shapes, to create little boxes or arrows or whatever. And they've got a pretty good amount here. They've got multiple pages, so you can peruse those if you want to get super creative. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and add a QR code on mine instead of the email address that I've got, and direct as much traffic to my website as possible. So just sort of jumping in, what I did here is I now replicated some of what Mike Andes was doing on his. So if you've watched any of his videos, he's got a door hangers piece in there somewhere. And I just basically paused the video and tried to see what he was doing for it. But you can use any font you want here. When you click on a text font box here, you can adjust it to whatever sort of you want your style to be. I sort of liked that that all caps kind of look here. So you can go any route you want, but I kind of blew this up as large as I could on my design. You can see here, it says I used the Plasma font on my particular one, but you can use whatever font you want. So anyways, I kind of got that here. What you can do is, if you want to do leaf cleanup, fall cleanup, pressure washing, whatever services you want to offer, you could make variations of these door hangers and sort of have that, within this section here. But I just have lawn mowing on there. And actually on the flip side of it, if I'm going to do other services, I'll just leave it in sort of the notes section there. And I'll make sure that that piece is facing forward if I do leave it on their actual door there. But for me, I uploaded some images. I think I've got, so I've got a white one here for the Grassmasters logo. Let me know what y'all think about this logo. My cousin made it. I'm not super good with that kind of stuff, but I really like the way it looked, and it was actually, it's got the Skag mower on there that I use. Who knows if I'll continue using Skag, but for now, Skag has been really great and super reliable. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually add a little box here, just kind of show you what I did on mine. And because it's a real estate piece here, I think the image that they use for the background here has like a pre-made cutout for a picture here. And I just really didn't care for that. I just thought it kind of looked a little tacky and whatnot. And so there wasn't any way to remove it. So what I had to do, I create a little box here, and then I went up here to the top menu, and I just changed the color of it. I think I might even pick like a color that was kind of in here. You can use the eyedropper tool and just kind of pick an existing color if you want. And I believe I said instant quote on it. Yeah. So I had instant quote and then the phone number for my business. So if you want to add an additional text box, you can create a little new text field here, kind of resize it for whatever size you sort of want. Did not mean to do that. Let's move this here. And all right. So we've got our fake phone number in here with the instant quote. It's giving me some kind of disclaimers. The text overlaps with another object, and that's totally fine. That's just because I had some text left over, in the background. So like, for instance, if I arrange this and send it backwards a few times, there was all these little name pieces here. We can delete those. If that bothers you, and it's like something that is going to get you hung up or whatever, then you can modify that. And then we just want to bring this back forward. So arrange, bring forward, and then boom, we're good. And like I mentioned, it uses all your normal sort of graphic tools, so you can center everything, make it look super nice. But just, play around with this, figure out what you want your front to look like, and you can modify it from there. It's super, super simple. All right, so going to the back, you can upload your own design. You could start totally from scratch, which I don't know that I'd recommend unless you're a designer. And if that's the case, you're probably not using VistaPrint for your own design. You're probably using like a Photoshop or something like that. So what I did, I just used sort of this little green background that they already had. And I just got rid of sort of all this extra fluff that they had on here, and then plugged in my own pieces. So one of the things that I saw was on Mike Andy's, he sort of had these two quotes. So one was for a weekly, and the other one was for a bi-weekly. So what I did is I created these two little text boxes here. And you can just adjust the colors in the top here, but on the shape section here, you'd add in your little square. And you got that there, and then a new text field. So you can do weekly. Let's resize that. One thing I do wish that they did was, like if you resize the box, that it would just automatically adjust the font, but it doesn't seem to work that way. So it's all good, but you can still modify it in the top there. And let's get this one down to where it's within the box here. Boom. Okay. And you can probably bring this font down too if you wanted to be consistent, if it's really important for you, which I think for most people it probably is. Aesthetics are super important. And you can add an optional box up here in the top left if you really wanted to, saying like this quote's good for 7 days. I noticed that. That's something that he sort of had in his as well. I haven't done that. It just it was one more thing to sort of do. So I decided to omit it. But you see how easy it is here to sort of add, additional pieces and whatnot. Now, one thing I'm noticing is this doesn't seem to allow me to resize it. So that's, this one's giving me the bars for resize, but you know, it seems like the software could be a little bit finicky, but it's not too bad. All right, so this just give you ideas. One of the things that I'm thinking about changing on mine is I've got a section. So let me just show you. So this is the front of the one that I'm using right now. And then here's the back. So I've got this instant quote, got the weekly, the bi-weekly, you know, and essentially what I'm doing is weekly rate will be $40. Bi-weekly rate will be $60. You know, something to that effect. Notes, I'm typically putting mow, edge, weed eat, bush trim, you know, whatever services I'm looking to include, that sort of thing. And then anytime you're doing marketing, you know, you want that call to action, right? So on the front, my call to action is give us a call, right? I've got my phone number in a huge font there. To give me a phone number. The call to action on the back is if you want to proceed, email a photo of this to get scheduled. They put their name, their address, their phone number, and make sure that that's actually the quote that I gave them, and then email it to Deland.Grassmasters at Outlook. Nobody has used this. I've left hundreds of door hangers so far. Nobody has once emailed me. They always call me. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually getting rid of all of these pieces here, just deleting that altogether. And then just putting one of these QR codes on here. So all right, did I add it? Boom, there we go. All right, so I think if I've got this here, oh, that is not what I meant to do. Let's get another QR code going here. All right, there's my QR code. I created multiples of them. So, all right. So this is what I'm thinking about doing is I had this little white piece here, so I'm going to delete that. But I'm thinking I'm going to actually just put the QR code here at the bottom. Maybe recenter this with the notes piece, or maybe I'll keep it right here, and maybe I could add something else in here. You know, maybe I want to continue to create brand recognition. So let's add in the Grassmasters logo one more time at the bottom here. All right, we'll center that, and boom, we've got the logo on both sides. You could call to action here could be call or visit today. And we can just change this to the I think I said Blasma, right? Was the font that I was using before. So maybe, I don't know, y'all play around with this. Let me know what you think about sort of the, yeah, it looks like it's all over the place, doesn't it? Let's use Allegria just to be consistent. Do we have that? Allegria. There we go. Now it's a little bit more consistent in terms of fonts being utilized. One other thing that I've been doing, this is the hardest part, right? Is like figuring out how you want to design it, how you want to do it and whatnot. What I like about this weekly, bi-weekly is usually I'm putting the price on here, right? Like I mentioned, $40 and $60. But if I want to actually offer them a monthly service, so say I'm going to charge them $100 a month, I'm putting that in the note section. So $100 a month, mow, edge, weed eat, trim, you know, whatever you want to include in your services. And in the weekly and bi-weekly, I'm actually putting the dates in which I'm going to be doing weekly services, and then the weeks I'll be doing bi-weekly. And so in Florida, we pretty much cut all year round. We're in Central Florida. The grass is continuing to grow, but usually it slows down in about October. So about now, we're going to be slowing down probably through April. It might start picking up again in April, depends on how much rain we get. But I could put in here weekly for April to October, and then November through March, you know, for the bi-weekly service. And that's what it would be. It's going to be $100 a month, you know, regardless of what month we're in. And that gives you a little bit more recurring revenue that you can really expect to lean on. But that's totally your preference. Find out what works for you and your market. But yeah, VistaPrint, super easy to use. Try it out. Hopefully this helped you out. Remember, there's all these tools on the left-hand side. And then once you click on an object up here, you got lots of different options for manipulating and changing those pieces. But yeah, once you're ready, one thing I would advise is make your fonts bigger than you think they're going to be. My first sort of proof of one of these, the fonts were just entirely too small. So definitely try to fill as much room in here as you can. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and continue on and purchase them and whatnot. So, all right, everyone. Hope this was helpful. I hope you have a great rest of your day.